Hello everyone, nubkeks here. Welcome back to Nub Raids. In today's video, we're diving into the new dungeon. We're going to do this video a little bit differently from how I initially planned. I'm on live server right now, and I've been trying to farm this gosh darn rare, Muckstalker. I actually think that this rare, I will show him to you on the test server, because I have tested him out. I wasn't able to grind him on live in advance because we had CVC, was going hard on that. Great champion for the new dungeon. The reason being that he has a 2-turn cooldown on sleep, but the actual biggest reason, there's actually two bigger reasons, which are number one, it's a 2-turn sleep, which makes this dungeon just so much nicer. It really does, right? You don't run into those situations because we don't know how to speed tune this dungeon yet, where you sleep the boss and then he just wakes right up, right? Because you sleep him at the end of this turn and then he's immune to sleep and you're pulling your hair out. It persists for 2 turns. It's so good. And then the other thing, his AI, we'll see when we come to him. I will show you some Muckstalker gameplay for sure in this video. His AI seems to me to be pretty smart. He won't waste this move if the target's already asleep. He'll actually save it, which is pretty great. So there's some fun stuff there with him. Anyway, I've literally, as you can see, I've got 3 flingers. And not a single Muckstalker, and I've literally run out of gems and energy. Well, I haven't run out, but I need to save some gems because we can have the fusion probably starting next week. Seen lots of questions about the fusion, by the way. We don't have any information about the fusion yet, but I'm expecting to hear news pretty soon. And like I said, I would expect the fusion to begin next week. Game looks great and Christmassy, by the way. So let me show you what I've done. I'll show you the team that I've used so far, and then I will show you as well how the gear ascension works. I haven't rolled up any gear yet, so let me see, how much stuff do we have so far? If we jump into just an example piece right here, we go into ascension. Yeah, we've got a few of these free potions, so we're going to actually talk about spending those and stuff like that and see if we get any good rolls, and we'll see how your initial rolls compare. So new dungeon, Sand Devil's Necropolis. So I'm down to stage 12, and you can actually see with this initial team blitzing through stage 1 to 6, actually super easy. Stage 7, it got a little bit harder. We're at that sort of 1 minute mark, then about the 1:30, and then a stage 12, it went much longer. So stage 12 was where my just very initial, not amazing team, but simple team that was just trying to brute force the boss, really, started to go a little bit slower, but that's kind of okay. I've actually come around on this boss in a big way. In my first video on this boss, I was really frustrated because I do think it is a very frustrating boss. And certainly, like, when you come down and you're looking to try beat stage 25, it's just the options for that are so limited. It's really rough. But funny thing is, if we look at stage 25, right, with the small potions, which is what we all need right now, you get 10 to 12. If I come down to stage 12, which is as far as I've got, it's actually 9 to 11. So in terms of getting those first levels of ascension, it's actually going to be so easy because this is such a hard dungeon on the higher levels. Like, it's ridiculously hard. It's going to actually be much easier to just quickly farm it up in a nice, easy, full auto team on the lower stages. And in particular, I'm thinking, I actually saw someone in my Discord chat said, I think MTG Jedi, I think, was recommending 7 and 11. I think that's what it was. And that's what I'm going to go for as well. The reason being, okay, in stage 12, sure, there's one more maximum small potion you can get, but number one, it's clearly with a good chunk harder, and number two, it costs 2 more energy, right? So I figure actually just doing stage 11 seems pretty good for energy in terms of rewards, and start getting some of these medium potions too. And then stage 7, I guess, is something similar, where yeah, it's again that 2 energy cheaper, and it should still be fairly doable, and you're going to get 7 to 8, right? It's that minimum has gone up to 7 to 8, which is quite nice. So yeah, that's sort of my thoughts, right? They are my thoughts in terms of which stages to do. Let's jump in and let's see stage 11. So the team that I've actually used is this team. Let's actually click start. Let's see it in action. There's a couple of champions here that are sorted. Well, none of the champions here, I would say, are actually essential. But some of the key ideas of the team you will see sort of in action. So what we've got going on, we have Elva in the lead. Gives us a speed aura. The block debuffs is quite nice, and the revive, because we can potentially die and get one shot and stuff like that. So I've brought in Elva. Then who else do we have in here? Lydia is actually reasonably important. Someone with like decreased defense at the very least. Lydia brings decreased defense weaken, and the strengthen's kind of nice to stay alive, just so we get some extra damage off against the boss. We hit him a bit harder. That actually worked out really badly for us with, I think, War Master procs and stuff, and he actually cleared this stuff off pretty quickly. So this is going to be a slow run. I haven't removed War Master from my champions. I actually have Relentless gear and these two champions right here. And War Master on everyone except Elva. So that definitely takes away from some of that consistency of the team. But for the most part, it's been fine. Again, I'll show you on the test server where I went in and I switched Turvold out of War Master, for example. For the damage, we got Whisper and Turvold. What do both of them do? They both do crazy single target damage. Whisper gets that bonus against bosses. They both hit super hard. They both provide their own increased attack as well, which isn't essential. I could bring in other champions, it's fine. So here we go. We're going to go into this second big hit from the boss. I've got no sleeps on this team, guys. We're simply using the sleep after he does his big move to start to nuke him down. But you can see that we're basically just ignoring it. And here we go. This is why it's important to have Elva. The counterattacks are also kind of annoying. Like, Turvold's almost woken him up already. We actually get the decreased defense on, though, so we'll hit him pretty hard. And then, bam, Whisper goes in and smacks. And she's going to smack again, smack, smack. And the boss is going to kill himself at Brimstone. Actually, no, he's not, because Whisper just killed him. And 150, that's actually the fastest time, what do you know, for stage 11. So, as you can see, this team is not tuned, really. It's clearly not a very quality team for the boss. But it's sort of, I think for these lower stages, it has the key essentials, which is you want some team protection and some reviving. I think a decreased defense champion, Lydia brings you a lot. You don't need to use her though, but a decreased defense champion so you hit hard. And then just some big single target nukers that preferably don't have too many multi-hits. So for example, let's say Rhonda. Rhonda, if you're an early game player, right? I really think most players are going to run her in Giant Slayer. She's going to be really probably quite poor for this because she's going to do so many hits and the Giant Slayer procs, and the boss is going to be constantly awake. We've got Archbishop in there, by the way. Archbishop is in there for a very, very, very important reason, which is that I've loved Archbishop from the start. He's one of my favorite champions, as you guys hopefully know. But I haven't really done too many videos with him recently. And I know Hell Hades uses him in Iron Twins, and I think Hell Hades is now also using him for this dungeon too. So that's the important reason. We need to bring in Archbishop Pinthroy because we can't let Hell Hades hog Archbishop Pinthroy. This champion is so freaking cool, man. He can't have him. Oh, I was trying to bring up I love the art in this champion. So we need to share. We need to share the Archbishop love. No, that sounds wrong. That sounds really wrong. Oh, no. Oh god, demonetized. What have we done? It's a disaster. But yeah, that's basically how the team works. So you could replace nearly all of these champions. Any big single target nukers. I just think that Whisper and Turvold are both really, really good. Let's run it again for fun. Why not? Run it one time for fun. And yeah, then I've brought in the Elva just because, but again, you could bring in anybody. I just think someone with revives is good. Archbishop does bring heals. Like I said, he's in Relentless gear, so running through all these different dungeons, I tried to set it up that he'd A1 at the start, and then he'd have his stuff like right there. Turvold got one shot by the boss, right? So he got the revive to pick him back up. There we go. We actually get more debuffs out this time, which is good. Unfortunately, the boss wakes up and he's going to cleanse. But you can see that Whisper is great for this, right? In Relentless, Whisper is just popping off, and she's half killed the boss before he even gets to go. Poor old Turvold didn't get to do as much this time. There's luck involved. I did find in more testing that Turvold would do more damage than Whisper overall, but sometimes luck just goes in your favor, and I think she's really great because she's an epic. So there you go. Look, this is basically how the boss is going to work. No sleeps. What I was planning to do is bring in Muckstalker and either probably replace Whisper with Muckstalker, who's just going to put out the consistent sleeps, very consistent sleeps. And a great thing about Muckstalker too, guys, I can give you... I'll show you. We're going to jump over and look at him in a second once we roll up some gear here on live. But I really like him because you can use a mastery to make his sleep apply leech. And with that leech, you're actually going to get tons of healing on these champions, especially if you've not removed War Master like I haven't. But yeah, it's an interesting one. I'm pretty happy farming these low stages of the boss. Let me know what you guys are planning, but I'm very happy farming these low stages right now. It's still super relevant. Poor old Turvold's having a terrible time. We've actually have Heaven Cast, by the way, on Whisper, which is quite fun. Here we go. We get 2 debuffs out there from Lydia, although it does come at the price of 2 hits. You can see that 1 hit from Whisper procced War Master and knocked 2 pips off this. I think it's really annoying game design. It's just, I don't mind it in the sense that, like, you know, okay, if that's how it's designed, it's like, all right, fine. But what is annoying about it specifically is that so many of your champions you're running with War Master. So it's just frustrating in terms of having to re-gear or reuse them. Like if you wanted to bring in, like, let's say a champion like Husk, max HP nuker for higher stages, for example, who I think is going to be pretty darn good. Well, you're going to have to build so many husks because you probably have them in War Master for Hydra. I don't know. It's going to be really annoying. Like, how many husks do you need? Anyway, there we go. So you can see it's a fairly consistent farm. Not really tuned. Whisper's really standing out. She's doing great. But there we go. Brimstone is really good too, by the way, guys. If you get Brimstone on, I think it's really helpful. So with Turvold, I have him... Oh, that's weird. Okay, we've got a weird bug here. He is in Savage and Cruel. I was like, wait, what happened? He is in Savage and Cruel, and he is coming in with these stats. So I actually think because he's in Savage and Cruel, he's going to work really well with Helm Smasher. Maybe even better. I'll show you that on the test server. And his masteries are like this, but I would change them. For my testing, this counterattack mastery is really annoying. So like with Turvold, for example, the boss will do a big hit, put himself to sleep, and then Turvold is like, I'm going to counterattack because you just hit me really hard. And Turvold is going to go in there and he's going to double hit the boss. And if he procs War Master, it's like, bam, that's 3 pips off that sleep counter. So that's definitely something to watch out for. But he can still be good. Elva, she's coming in Stone Skin. I've actually built up my Elva. I'm going to up her speed a bit more with glyphs and stuff, but I'm pretty happy with her. And those are her masteries. Are the others in the vault? Oh, they are. They're in the vault. Get out of the vault. Oh my god, hiding in the vault? What is this? So you can see we do have War Master on Lydia, which sucks. I think if you don't run War Master on your Lydia, you're happy. She's going to be great for this boss. But I just thought, yo, for these lower stages, for sure, just decrease defense, weaken. They're the 2 big buffs to get out there. And just nuke them down, right? Yeah, those are her stats. Like this. We've got Archbishop. He's actually in Relentless, which is terrible for this boss because it's really going to break how stuff happens. But he comes in, he's got he's got heal reduction block buffs here for higher levels, increased accuracy is good, lots of healing and stuff there, which is nice. So that's what he's doing. Brings an accuracy aura too if you want it. And he is in these stats with these masteries. Again, that War Master is a hassle. And then Whisper, who's doing really well. Again, same thing with Turvold. These masteries have a bunch of downsides. She's not as good with Helm Smasher because she will actually ignore defense on her A2 if the target's under weaken, right? So Helm Smasher is a bit wasted on Whisper. You really prefer to have War Master on her, which is a bit annoying. And she's built like this in Relentless. So yeah, just sort of big single target nukers and blow them up. That's what I've been doing. So let's roll up some gear. Let's roll up some gear, and then let's roll up gear on Turvold, because I'm probably more likely to use Turvold, and I do use Turvold for Hydra. So here we go. First ever Ascension for gear, and then we'll jump on the test server and I'll show you Muckstalker, because I think he's kind of an MVP, and it's pretty valuable, I think, right now to just jump into campaign and farm up your Muckstalkers. He needs to be booked to get the cooldown down. So it's a kind of worthwhile thing to do. Here we go. Let's ascend this glove. The glove can roll nearly anything, and we got flat defense. Yikes. So here's what we're going to do. We're not going to roll this up any further. We're probably just going to leave this as is. Thank you very much. Flat defense on the gloves. That feels bad. Those are my best cruel gloves right there. Crit damage with 2 rolls and crit rate, 1 in attack percent. They are my best cruel gloves. It feels bad, right? Yeah, this gear ascension stuff, it's going to have some downsides. We got accuracy on the chest. Okay, it's not awful. Like, that's usable for sure. Like, it's kind of cool because he does bring weaken, and that's okay, but not what you want to see. Let's see the boots. The boots, we'd love attack percent or speed. It can roll all of these. Let's roll them up. They're actually slightly cheaper because they're only 5-star, I guess. I think we broke the game. We've broken the game. The servers have crashed. No. Oh my goodness. Let me pause. I'll be right back when hopefully this fixes. I'm back. So it was a blip in my actual internet. Flat defense, boys. Flat defense. He's going to be a tanky Turvold. Oh, that feels pretty bad. Right, let's go into the weapon. Come on. We got crit rate, crit damage, triple roll and attack percent on this weapon. We're looking for some nice flat attack right there. Crank that attack higher. Let's go. Hey, let's go. There we go. That's pretty cool. So we actually got more attack. I think it's probably a waste right now to roll this up, but it's definitely worth doing for sure. This is a piece that we will ascend up more. Let's leave it for now, though. Let's leave it for now. I think what I'm going to do, because right now it's very limited. It's quite hard to get these medium pots, right? Like that's a much higher difficulty. So be careful with how you spend them. I would probably be using these on bottom piece rolls for now. I'd be trying to save those up for the bottom piece rolls that give you something good. So like crit rate or crit damage on a crit damage gauntlet, for example, like attack percent on an attack percent chest, speed on a speed boot, something like that. But yeah, let's go in again. Let's ascend this one. We can do 3 more pieces here. We got flat HP. It's not the worst, not the best. And we've got the helmet, which can give HP, attack, or defense. Again, this is not the best shield, so it doesn't super matter. We got attack on it, actually. That's pretty cool. So we got some free stats there. Total, that's kind of nice. Does it show it here? It doesn't. It doesn't break it down. But there we go. We have Turvold a bit awakened. Let's do Elva. Let's put some on Elva's boots. We want speed for Elva's boots, right? Let's go. Speed boots. Here we go. Got it in 1, right? HP. Flat HP, no less. So not great, unfortunately. We're going to have to find some better boots for her. Yeah, look, I think this system is going to be kind of annoying. Definitely, the big thing is it's going to be a long grind, guys, right? And I think I'll show you the Muckstalker team now, actually, because I think it's going to be very important to have a nice, quick, consistent farm team for this dungeon, because you're going to be spending a lot of time there. All right, I'm going to jump on the test server. I'll be right back. All right, guys, so jumping into the test server right now. Oh, I actually need to turn on this, don't I? There we go. Test server. Now you know. So we're running a very similar team, and here's Muckstalker. So I actually have him open with his A1 because I built him to be really quick. Just because we don't want to sleep the boss at the start. We want to just deal with this big hit at the start when we're all full health and everything is nice and safe and dandy. You can see that we've removed War Master now from Turvold, which is going to help a little bit. Actually, we got a nice bug. Oh, look at this. The bugs. Here we go. Big hits out from Whisper. That's going to help a good chunk. Cool. We're hitting pretty hard because the boss had the decrease defense and weaken on, which is nice. And here he goes. Muckstalker goes in and he's put the boss to sleep for 2 turns, which is fantastic, with that 4-turn counter as well. In this case, we do have War Master on Whisper. We also have War Master on Lydia, so he does get woken up. But the great thing here is if you're not running these champs at War Master, it can help to, like if he puts him to sleep, we might see it near the end of his turn. It's really going to help. And while he's asleep, that damage with Leech is going to help top our champions up, keep them safe. There he goes. He slept him again. And look at this. This would normally be really awkward. The boss just took a turn. With every other sleep champion in the game, he would have woken up straight away. Now, Whisper's sort of ruining this showcase, unfortunately. She's being very uncooperative. We can see, though, Turvold just smacks this boss really hard. This Turvold does have Helm Smasher on the test server, which is nice. Here we go. So Muckstalker should be ready to go in and do the business again pretty soon. Lovely stuff. We're just smacking the boss. So this run is actually a little bit slower, but you can just see again that 2-turn sleep. The Leech is just great as well. We get all these debuffs on. Whisper's proccing extra turns. Hopefully we kill the boss. Yeah, she's just going to murder him. Here we go. We get block buffs as well, which is great. The boss actually slept through his turn. Fantastic. And there you go. So it wasn't as quick, but again, Whisper really showing her strength there. Also showing the downside that she does wake the boss up quickly. But Muckstalker, he's a fantastic champ for this, guys, right? He brings you such a consistent sleep, and it makes it so much less frustrating. Like, when you're trying to build a team for this boss, and especially because you're going up, right, through multiple stages, and the speed's different on every stage, and you're pulling your hair out going, how do I get my debuffs to line up with the sleep? Super annoying. in a sense, this is a bad showcase because we brought in Whisper, who hits so many times. But if you bring in like champions that single hits, then Muckstalker's sleep becomes really powerful. And yeah, it means that, hey, even when the boss comes around to his turn, he's going to sleep through that turn, and the sleep will carry through into the next turn, which can be super helpful to just make getting your debuffs on a lot more consistent. So I've been super impressed with this rare. I think he's well worth farming and booking up. You can just farm duplicates for him and book him with duplicates because he comes from campaign. But he is a great champ. And you can see in this, I actually don't have Elva on the test server. We use Rector Drath instead. She works great too, right? She's bringing healing and reviving, same thing as Elva. And in fact, she does bring decreased attack, which can actually be a useful extra debuff for a bit of that damage reduction. We go to recently used, so same sort of stuff. I think Whisper is still the same. Yeah, now for Turvold, I did try to mix him up. So he does still have counterattack, which I probably should have taken off, but I did switch him into Helm Smasher this time around so that he would hit harder but not proc those extra things. I feel like we've done Turvold dirty in these showcases. It's actually, I'm not joking when I said in the test, I did tweak up my team slightly here. I was using Morrigan before, but Turvold was out damaging Whisper in the test runs. So I don't know, Whisper is just proccing all the extra turns. Hey, it is what it is. We have Rector Drath in Reflex to just make her healing more consistent. And these masteries, again, a lot of this stuff doesn't really matter. To be honest, on these low stages, you can get away with a lot. You just need to not get one shot like your whole team on that initial hit. When you go to later stages, you're going to deal with that with Revive on Death, but you just need some okay defensive stats and you'll make it through in these lower stages. Or you could drop out one of the damage dealers and put in an ally protection champion and you're not going to die, right? Put in Vizix. Vizix throws in ally protection, she'll die. And then you just revive her and you go about your day, that sort of thing. Muckstalker then, so we do have him booked up. That is important. It also makes him more likely to place block buffs in the A1, which is an extra debuff to up your damage. Oh, he's actually missing a weapon. Whoops. Oh, I forgot. I took his weapon off, I think for the Skarama showcase. So he was slightly not working properly, but it still worked just fine. He's got really good base HP. Just crank that up. And then what I was trying to do is to give him really good speed and really good accuracy, and that's it. So just high speed, high accuracy, high HP, and that's all I'm looking for on this champion. So probably just a bunch of perception gear, and that's pretty much it. Like just HP accessories with an accuracy banner, preferably with speed, and then you can give him probably a HP chest piece or an accuracy chest piece. HP gloves, he's got defense gloves here, speed boots, and looking for just speed and accuracy, whatever sort of stuff you've got. And for his masteries, a little bit specific here. So yeah, I built him sort of specifically for this. So giving him a bit more accuracy, give him some turn meter when his debuffs expire. I've given him Sniper to make it more likely to place block buffs, and Master Hexer to extend those debuffs. It won't extend sleep, but he can extend the block buffs. Excuse me, and he can extend the leech, which is really good. He's getting leech from this move, Harvest Despair. 60% chance of leech. I think that probably goes up to 65 with Sniper. I don't actually know. But still, when he places sleep, you get that leech out, which will help your team stay healthy. It's an extra debuff, especially if he extends it with Master Hexer. It gives you some nice extra damage, gave him more accuracy. And again, we're trying to avoid over here the counterattack stuff because we don't want him to counterattack and start knocking down that sleep timer after the boss does his big move at the start. We want to try get our debuffs on at that point and get some damage away. Cycle of Revenge is what I gave him. So fairly straightforward. Great champion though. Really, really good. And yeah, that's basically it, guys. There we go. So what do you think? That's the Sand Golems thingy. what is it? Not Sand Golem. It's the Sand Devil. The Sand Devil's Necropolis. Yeah, how did your gear ascension go? What team are you using? And like I said, at the moment, I'm just gonna easy farm the low stages without much stress. And then, sort of wait for the community to get involved and we can start putting together better teams, because I don't really know how to beat the high stages yet. I think it's going to be just exceptionally hard. I certainly think for me and my account to take on stage 25, I don't think I can do it yet, to be brutally honest. I think I'm going to need to go and grind out the stuff. And yeah, that doesn't really bother me. So long as we've got champions like Muckstalker with the 2-turn sleep, I feel a lot happier about actually managing this boss. So there we go. Guys, thanks for watching. I hope that you enjoyed. Let me know what you think, and I'll see y'all next time. Bye-bye.